When we're talking about simulation evolved, we're not talking about giving you more boxes with numbers to fill into them. It's much more granular than that. It's looking at the paths and exactly how you laid them out and where you put your flat rides and how your coaster is built. And all these guests with their individual brains, they all react to this. And that's simulation evolved. It's all these things interacting in new ways that we just couldn't do on previous games.
We're really keen that the players out there get to experience the simulation as gameplay as well. These are the elements of the game that a lot of players come to this type of game for.
One thing we get with a management game, particularly with challenge mode, is it's a blank piece of paper. There are 100 ways to solve the same problem. And with a scenario mode, some of those things will be easier and some will be harder. So what we encourage you to do then is try out the different choices and use the different solutions that we have to the same problem.
So with your 3 different modes, which are career, sandbox and challenge.
Career mode, which offers you a series of challenging levels and effectively taking on jobs to go into unique parts, turn them around and make them a success.
Sandbox is the simplest mode. The simulation is still running in the same way, but we take away the cost of things.
With the challenge mode, we're adding in difficulty levels, so you can choose if you want easy challenge, medium challenge or a hard challenge, and these will change the types of challenge that you get, also your starting conditions, just to add a bit of flavour and make things a bit more interesting for the player.
This is what the game makes fun for people who might not want to be just building things and making things pretty. And I'm quite excited about this.
We've expanded the depth and the fidelity of staff members so that they're visually more responsive. You have a feeling whether they're really good at their job, whether they're feeling overworked or stressed.
The staff in Planet Coaster have these 3 kind of elements to them that control their behaviour and how they behave in the simulation. And it's training, workload and pay, and each one of these has to be balanced with each other because they all kind of play off each other, and it's a great way of constantly having to sort of monitor and massage the simulation because these guys they're kind of almost like people themselves as well. They're like the guests, they react the same. It's a kind of an interesting dynamic that gives you another element to the simulation which we've never had before.
A staff member who is very happy will work a lot faster than a staff member who is unhappy, so you will serve more guests in the same amount of time. So you make more money from an individual shop.
So to support a lot of this simulation and the feedback that we need to give the player, we have these park management screens. Park management areas where you go to view an overview of what's going on in your park.
Well, the park management screen is far more slick and the information is far more accessible. It's very, very readable. There's lots of information there that's displayed in a really clear fashion and helps you understand the simulation that's running behind the scenes, and is a great way of interacting with your park as well.
We're focusing on providing the player with sort of dashboards of information.
So how much money your park is making, what kind of things that people in your park are thinking, what kind of rides you currently have, what is the status of those rides, how much money do they make.
You can run marketing campaigns and those will attract more guests to your park, and you can run different kinds of campaigns, some of which will be more attractive to different demographics. If your rides are more focused towards teens, then you can advertise towards teens, and that brings more teenagers to your park.
There's also a loans tab where you can take out new loans, or you can manage what loans you currently have, so you can change how much you'll be paying on each of these loans. You can pay off a loan in its entirety, or you can see which of your loans have completed.
In Planet Coaster we now have heat maps for the rides themselves. It's a great visual way of showing you the most intense parts of your roller coaster, or the most nauseous parts, the most exciting parts. So now you can see great visual feedback on how to make your ride better, improve it all over, and it's a really clear and easy way to edit and build coasters.
Whilst the coaster is being tested, we present live data for excitement, fear and nausea, speed, and all 3 axes of G-force. So you don't need to wait for the train to complete a run before you get the data.
I would say that I'm most proud of park management because that is my favourite part of any management game. I really approached a lot of it from a personal perspective, like what would I want to see as a lover of management games.
So we're really, really excited to reveal more of the simulation, reveal more of the challenging elements of the game through career mode and challenge mode, and see how people engage with this as a real bona fide park management game and use the creative tools that we've got in the game, engage with the new systems we've added. We really can't wait to see people enjoying the actual meat of the gameplay and being park managers for real.